I call this meeting to order for the ESU 18 board meeting. That was pretty good. Laura, can you call the roll, please?
Ms. Byer.
Here.
Mr. Boswell.
Present.
Mrs. Danick.
Here.
Mrs. Duncan.
Here.
Mr. Mayhew.
Present.
Ms. Mumgard.
Here.
Mr. Schulte.
Here.
And in the back of the room, the Open Meetings Act is posted. You feel free to go ahead and read that, and I will turn it over to Mr. Gesford.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We'll go through the same drill that we just did. You'll be electing president first of the ESU 18, and we'll start by nominating one person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I would announce that according to the recording secretary's tally, 2 individuals have been nominated to serve as president of ESU 18, Matt Schulte and Lanny Boswell.
I'd like to remove my name from consideration for that one.
Don,
I move that we elect Lanny Boswell as our president of ESU 18.
is there a second?
I would second that.
Ms. Danik, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Laura, would you please call the roll?
Ms. Byer.
Yes.
Mr. Boswell.
Yes.
Mrs. Danick.
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew.
Yes.
Ms. Mumgard.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Mrs. Duncan.
Yes.
All right, our next item of business is an election of the vice president. We will use the same procedure as we used for president. Mr. Gesford.
Nominate one.
What did she say?
Old school.
Oh,
And pieces of paper.
Members of the board, the recording secretary's tally indicates only one individual has been nominated to serve as vice president for ESU 18, and that is Matt Schulte.
Is there a motion? Mr. Mayhew.
I move we elect Matt Schulte as our vice president of ESU 18.
Kathy.
I would second that motion.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we elect Matt Schulte as our vice president. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Laura, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Duncan.
Yes.
Mr. Schulte.
Yes.
Ms. Mumgard.
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew.
Yes.
Mrs. Danick.
Yes.
Ms. Byer.
Yes.
Mr. Boswell.
Yes. Congratulations, Matt. Our next item of business is to reconfirm the Lincoln Board of Education Secretary and Treasurer. Kathy.
Would move that we reconfirm Dr. Joel as secretary and Dr. Standish as the treasurer for ESU 18.
Matt.
I'll second that.
It's been properly moved and seconded that we can reconfirm Dr. Joel as our secretary and Dr. Standish as our treasurer. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, Laura, would you please call the roll?
Mrs. Danik?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Ms. Mumgarde?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mrs. Duncan?
Yes.
Ms. Byer?
Yes.
Mr. Boswell?
Yes. Our next item of business is to adopt the order of business, and Mrs. Danik.
I would move that we adopt the order of business.
Is there a second?
I'll
Connie?
second that.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? Laura, would you please call the roll on the motion to reconfirm the Lincoln Board of Education order of business as the ESU order of business?
Ms. Byer?
Yes.
Mrs. Danik?
Yes.
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Ms. Mumgarde?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Mrs. Duncan?
Yes.
Mr. Boswell?
Yes. Our next item of business is an affirmation of policies and regulations, business documents and practices, and day-to-day business transactions of the ESU. Is there a motion? Kathy?
I move that we affirm the policies and regulations, business documents and practices, and day-to-day business transaction for the ESU 18.
Is there a second? Annie?
I second that.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Laura, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Mayhew?
Yes.
Mrs. Danik?
Yes.
Mr. Schulte?
Yes.
Ms. Mumgarde?
Yes.
Mrs. Duncan?
Yes.
Ms. Byer?
Yes.
Mr. Boswell?
Yes. Now is the time for public comment. Would anyone like to come forward and address the board of ESU 18? Steve?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Boswell. Just another point of privilege, and that is to extend thanks to President Connie Duncan for her service on the ESU board, and also Annie Mumgarde for her service as vice president. And as we did with the Board of Education, we've donated books to a school in your district that in your honor. So thank you so much to both of you for a job well done.
Would anyone else like to address the board? Seeing none? Oh, Don, go ahead.
We skipped over the part where we offered you our congratulations for being our
That's right, we
ESU president.
And we are adjourned. Thank you.
That was a good one. Okay.
And you have 3 days left to get this before school's out, to go into the school. But they're there all summer. It's just more fun.
Calvert, great choice. So now what do I do? Books just in here?
They can deliver them if you like, or you can do it
You can
yourself.
take them.
get to do 'em?
Yeah, you can take
I
them.
get to deliver them, that's fun.
It's actually more fun to take them yourself.
Yeah, it's super fun.